first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
I love this performance. I've got to ask though, looking into this character, what did you find? Did you look at the comic books? Did you look at Terrence Stamp? How did you find him?
Well, I didn't really look at the comic books that much. When I got the part, they gave me a present, the DC Comics book that came out recently. It's
Oh, okay.
this giant book that weighs a ton. I looked through that, and I mean that was more just fun than anything.
Yeah.
And I saw the Terrence Stamp performance when I was a kid. And I have a reverence for it. It really made an impact on me when I saw it, but I didn't go back and see it again.
Yeah.
I was kind of excited to just really use my imagination more than anything. It's such a... It's easy to forget when you're watching it because it's so intense, but it's really just playing, we're playing.
Yeah.
It's like boys playing in the backyard, just acting like superheroes, supervillains. So, I mean, the one thing I thought about going into it is the fact that he's a general, and what that means, being a general, and how hard it is to be a general. It's not easy. It's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of stress, and he's seen terrible things happen to his planet, and it's been very traumatic for him. So, more than just being like mean or nasty or angry, he's kind of been traumatized in his own way.
You kind of humanize that character, and I think with this, there's a lot of times your character talks about, my people are killed, I'm trying to save my people.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make it easier to kind of make him almost a likable villain?
I mean, I suppose, ultimately it's up to the audience. I'm sure there's some people in the audience who are like, I don't care what happened to you,
Yeah.
you can't mess with Earth. This is our house,
Damn right.
So, there's only so much you can do. At the end of the day, he's the antagonist of the movie. But, what I do think is interesting with the Superman story is that more than like a good guy, bad guy dilemma, it's this figure that's caught between two civilizations. Kal's caught between Earth and Krypton, and there are people on Earth that are would be just as happy to try and tie Kal up and put him in a jail cell and torment him just as much as anybody from Krypton would. Truthfully, nobody on Krypton, Zod doesn't really want to mess with Superman at all until Superman disobeys him.
No. I've got to say, I don't remember ever seeing a film with you where you had to do as much fighting as you do in this.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how you approach that? What was it like doing with the fight choreography and doing those scenes?
Well, it was very exciting actually. Zach has somebody he's been working with for a long time, Damon, stunt coordinator, who's very versed in a variety of styles of combat, and has an excellent team around him that trained us for months leading up to the shooting. And all of the sequences, all of the combat sequences you see in the film were rehearsed. We probably ran them at least 100 times before we ever did them in front of the camera. There's obviously a lot of augmentation going on with the visual effects and the computer stuff afterwards. But we could really do it. Ultimately, we weren't hurting each other. It was a dance more than anything. But we weren't faking it.
I think with a role like this, especially in the superhero world, there's almost something Shakespearean about these villains. And I think that's kind of... I kind of got a little bit of a Macbeth kind of that with Zod. And I knew you're very familiar with Shakespeare.
Yeah, with the theater, yeah.
Do you think that kind of helped you in kind of finding that balance?
Yeah, I can't say, I can't say how much I really ultimately drew on that, but yeah, I mean, there's a reason that that this story, this kind of a story, has survived so many centuries.
Yeah.
It's such a crucial component to our culture, our mythology. The idea of these thwarted kings or generals, as it may be, and but yeah, I don't, I wasn't like in my trailer running sonnets or anything like that.
That would have been kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
Have you seen your dolls? Have you gotten to
Yeah, I
check
did.
out your action figures? How do you
Yeah.
feel about that?
They're really pretty extraordinary. Particularly, there's one that's like a statue. It's like this high, collector's item.
Yeah.
It's like it could be in a museum quality.
It could.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's just totally freaky. I mean, apparently they're already selling them.
Yeah, no, they're in stores, yeah.
They're like selling out or something.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think it's such a great villain. I think that people are going to want, people are going to want that, and they're going to want the Superman dolls to battle it out.
Yeah, battle it out. Yeah.
There's something really smart about this film. As I was watching it, I kind of felt like, well, I don't think this is insulting my intelligence
Yeah.
by being involved in it.
Yeah.
And I think the cast is a big part of that. And the scenes with you and Russell Crowe,
Yeah.
what was that like to work with him? How is he to? Because I've met him. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Seems like that's a lot of intensity in one room.
Yeah.
Right there.
Well, I really learned a lot from working with him. I just loved watching him.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'd be in a scene with him, and particularly if if it was his close up or I was off camera, I would he's just so intelligent, and he's been doing it such a long time. I would watch little things he would do that would convey so much with so much subtlety. That was just kind of a real, it was a job and a lesson at the same time. It was really cool.
What's your favorite moment? What is the best thing for you? What did you learn from this, stepping out of the indies and jumping into this massive world?
Well, that you can still tell great stories that have a lot of detail and a lot of heart to them, and that you can still have really intricate, complex relationships, even in the context of this, larger studio picture.
No.
Because what it boiled down to when we're in front of those green screens is just your imagination and the person that you're working with.